Hey everybody, I'm Judy the YouTube Lawyer. Today I'm going to continue reading some of the legal pleadings in the custody relocation case between Wendi Adelson and Dan Markel. And unfortunately, Tony was not able to help out this evening due to some work issue. So I'm going to try to go it alone. And let's just first start by reading Dan Markel's legal brief, which is only about 8 pages. So I should be able to get through this. It is not double spaced though. Okay, and as many of you guys know, Dan Markel was a law professor teaching criminal law at Florida State University when he was shot in the head by hitmen back on July 18th, 2014. And Wendi Adelson's brother, Charlie, is now in jail awaiting trial. His trial for his role in masterminding the murder is expected to start maybe late February at the earliest, or sometime in March or April. So an exact date has not been scheduled yet. And thank you guys for being there to watch. So this was filed on May 2nd, 2013 in Leon County Court. Wendi Adelson was the petitioner, Dan Markel respondent, and this is the husband's memorandum of law in support of his answer to wife's amended petition for dissolution of marriage and objection to request to be allowed to relocate with the minor children, and 2, husband's motion to dismiss wife's petition to relocate. Comes now the respondent/husband, Daniel Markel, and files this 1. Memorandum of law in support of his answer to wife's amended petition for dissolution of marriage and objection to request to relocate with minor children, and 2, husband's motion to dismiss wife's petition to relocate, and in support thereof states, 1. Brief background. On September 10th, 2012, after 6.5 years of marriage without any abuse or infidelity, wife abandoned husband and the marital home, taking with her the children, hundreds of thousands of dollars, whichever furniture and belongings she wanted for herself and for the children, and numerous non-marital items belonging to husband. Her departure from the home occurred without any notice to the husband, who was on a short business trip for a few days, and returned to find divorce papers left on the bed. Most importantly, the children were gone. Since separation, the parents have been exercising equal time sharing with the children. However, for the first 6 weeks, wife would not share any correct information regarding her and the children's whereabouts. This was very difficult for a father devoted to his 2 sons, who at the time were 3 and 1, respectively. Despite the fact that both parents are well paid, recently promoted, and stably employed as professors at the Florida State University College of Law, in January of 2013, the wife filed a, quote, emergency, unquote, amended petition for dissolution of marriage and request to be allowed to relocate with the minor children with this court. The wife sought the court's permission to relocate with the children and take them with her to her parents' home in Coral Springs, Florida, about 460 miles away from Tallahassee, where the children have lived their whole lives. Husband has already filed his answer to that amended petition, and now, in support of his answer, offers this memorandum of law. He further moves the court to dismiss the wife's amended petition with costs awarded to husband. 2. Legal standards. A. Petitions to relocate generally. For a petition to relocate to succeed, the parent seeking the relocation bears the burden of proof to show that the current arrangement is somehow deficient from the perspective of the children, and that a preponderance of the evidence indicates that a relocation would better advance their interests than the status quo or other feasible alternatives that could be made to the status quo. See generally Florida Statute 61.13001(8). After the Florida legislature overhauled its statutory framework in 2009, there is no presumption in favor of relocation. Instead, petitioner must establish that relocation and resulting modification of time sharing between parents would be in the children's best interests. Florida Statute 61.130017. Among other things, courts must consider whether substitute visitation under a relocation would facilitate a substantial and meaningful amount of visitation similar to, if not identical in, quantity and quality of visitation as the existing schedule. See Schaefer versus Schaefer, 898 Southern Reporter, 2nd, 1053, 1057-58, 2006, which said, injunction granted to prevent mother from moving with children based on inter alia, inadequate visitation opportunities. The Florida legislature has also recently passed SB 718, which places in the statute a presumption that the best interests of the minor children are served when parents engage in even time sharing. This legislation, passed overwhelmingly by a supermajority of Florida's representatives, weighs even more strongly against wife's desire to relocate, since her relocation proposal offers only 40% time sharing for husband and would, in fact, create conditions that would impede the husband's ability to engage in meaningful and even-handed time sharing. B, the nature of the evidence. Evidence submitted in support of the petition to relocate must be competent and substantial. Citing Vivian versus Shembari, 966 Southern 2nd 492, Florida, 2007, affirming denial of mother's petition to relocate based on the substantial and competent evidence introduced at the trial court. See also Mata versus Mata. Okay, I'll skip over citation, reversing grant of mother's emergency motion to relocate because the court limited its review to pleadings and argument of counsel. At no time did the court receive any evidence or testimony which would have provided a factual basis to support relocation. Indeed, there must be substantial and competent evidence to support the trial court's findings regarding all of the statutory factors delineated in the governing statute, Florida Statute 61.13001. See Rossman versus Profera, 67 Southern 3rd, 363, 365. That's a 2011 case. Denying mother's petition to relocate with children and ordering modification of time sharing to favor her father. Eckert versus Eckert, 107 Southern 3rd, 1235, 1237. 2013 case, reversing trial court's grant of relocation to mother because even with a 50-50 time sharing, relocation would place the father with a significant loss of contact because of the distance between them. Okay, sorry, my voice is going already. Jeez. C, wife's preferences or interests are largely irrelevant bases for decision making. Importantly, as courts in this circuit and others have long held, relocation cannot be based simply upon a finding that relocation would serve the best interests of the relocating parent. See Coyle versus Coyle. That's a 2009 case reversing trial court's grant of primary residential mother's relocation petition because it erred by focusing on whether relocation would improve the quality of her life, not necessarily the life of the child. This was error. Fredman versus Fredman, 2007 case, affirming the trial court's denial of relocation because the evidence indicated that the relocation was in the mother's best interest, but not the minor child's, notwithstanding that father had comparatively fewer parenting responsibilities. Barabee versus Clark, 2004 case, reversing an order granting a relocation request because any evidence regarding the benefits of relocation related to the mother and her new husband, and there was no evidence that relocation would be good for the minor child. Kunz versus Kunz, a 2001 case, stating the relocation statute imposes an intensely fact-specific framework on the relocation decision, where the trial judge may base a decision on what is best for the child, even though a result may not be best for the parent seeking to relocate. Okay, so as you can see, the way that this is written, it definitely looks like something that Dan Markel drafted. It looks like more like a law review article with all these citations, but it is very impressive and very persuasive with all these cases where it looks like those cases are typically where the mother wanted to move with the kids for different reasons. Okay, D. All the relocation case law in Florida follows a very clear pattern that demonstrates the lack of merit in wife's petition. As the court in Valqui versus Rodriguez, 75 Southern 3rd, 751, 756, a 2011 case, acknowledged, there are no Florida cases where an appellate court has allowed a relocation to occur when both parents are equally involved and there is no economic necessity to relocate. In Valqui, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, the court allowed the relocation because the child's new stepfather had been relocated pursuant to the United States Coast Guard's orders, and the mother had already and long been deemed the primary residential parent. Even under such different circumstances, the court exhibited great reluctance to allow the relocation to go forward in that case, acknowledging how difficult the decision was under such circumstances, but also recognizing the trial court's action was not an abuse of discretion. The court also acknowledged the force of Vivian versus Shambari, 966 Southern 2nd 492, a 2007 case, a case where the court affirmed the denial of mother's petition to relocate with children when the mother's new husband was relocated for job purposes. And like Valqui, the mother had already been designated the primary residential parent. The short of it, accordingly, is that no Florida appellate court has allowed a relocation to go forward in circumstances like the one at issue, where there is no economic necessity and where both parents are fully and equally involved. So this is all in bold. Citing Eckert versus Eckert, 107 Southern 3rd, 1235, 1237, 2013 case, noting that the relocation statute requires a thorough analysis of the situation and the impact on both the child and both parents. Indeed, the appellate courts routinely and unhesitatingly reverse as abuse of discretion any relocations under facts similar to ones like the litigants here. See Eckert versus Eckert, 2013 case, reversing trial court's grant of relocation to mother and determining that it was an abuse of discretion to award relocation, because even with a 50-50 time-sharing agreement, relocation would, quote, place the father with a significant loss of contact because of the distance between the father and children. Okay. Sesemski versus Sesemski, 954 Southern 2nd, 1227, a 2007 case reversing trial court's grant to mother of petition to relocate because inadequate evidence was presented to show that the relocation would create substantial economic improvement to children's well-being, and that substitute visitation situation for father would be adequate. Paskowitz versus Paskowitz, 967 Southern 2nd, 277, 280-81, 2007 case, reversing grant of relocation despite claim of economic necessity because both parents were sharing time with children evenly. Alexander versus Alexander, 2007, Florida Appellate Lexus 2780, 2007 case affirming the order denying mother's petition to relocate from Broward to Tallahassee, where move was possibly going to improve mother's quality of life, but not the children's, and was not in the children's best interests. Muller versus Muller, 964 Southern 2nd, 732, 2007 case reversing grant of petition by mother to relocate based on insubstantial evidence regarding economic improvement and adequate visitation with father. Echazareta versus Echazareta, 944 Southern 2nd, 1169, 2006 case affirming denial of relocation petition by wife and awarding custody to father. Sagara versus Sagara, 947 Southern 2nd, 543, 546, a 2006 case barring relocation because it would, quote, result in a significant diminishment of the excellent relationship, unquote, between the father and the child, and thus would not be in the best interest of the child. Wow. So that's a ton of case law that he has cited so far, and there's more. Okay, so let's keep going, and I need to probably take a break after this paragraph. In addition to the 13 cases denying relocation above, Vivian, Rossman, Fredman, Coyle, Paskowitz, Alexander, Echazareta, Muller, Schaefer, Mata, Sasemsky, Kuntz, Eckert, the cases providing opinions where relocation has been upheld or deemed permissible have involved very different fact patterns involving unequal parenting capacities and histories, egregious behavior by one spouse, and or presence of dire economic necessities, e.g. Valkyrie, Supra, Miller versus Miller, 992 Southern 2nd, 346, a 2008 case, presence of economic necessity and unequal parenting situation and capacity, Orta versus Suarez, 66 Southern 3rd, 988, 2011, allowing relocation because of economic necessity for wife, egregious behavior by husband, and history of wife serving as primary caregiver, Norris versus Heckerman, 972 Southern 2nd, 1098, 2008 case, evidence of unequal parenting involvement. Okay, let's finish this one. In sum, the cases offered above clearly provide articulate principles of decisions that directly cover the facts in this case. Those principles can be reduced succinctly. The courts will not allow relocation in instances where there is no economic necessity and both parents are able and loving caregivers. In this case, no one has a job that has moved, or a spouse who has a job which has been moved, and no one enjoys status as primary residential parent. On the contrary, both parties are fully employed in excellent positions. Each parent is evenly involved in a rotating time-sharing arrangement, and the children are flourishing. The present case creates easy facts that, under the law, cry out for swift and certain resolution in husband's favor. Okay, so I need to take a break, man. Where's Tony when you need her, right? Okay, well, luckily, another person, Dawn, has graciously agreed to help me read some stuff later this week. So anyway, let me take a quick little break to skim over some of the comments. Thank you guys for your continued interest in the Dan Markel case. So thank you, Katie. Thanks, everybody, for being here. I was sipping iced tea. Okay. Hi, Roxanne. Hey, everybody. Okay, so everybody's saying hello. Hi, Red Monkey Butt. Okay, I don't think I've seen you in the chat before, so welcome. And everyone's saying hello. Thank you, Allison. Thanks for being here. Patty. I can't believe she said she was happy when the relocation was denied. Unreal liar. Yeah, that was definitely unbelievable. I mean, come on, why would you file that kind of motion and then be happy that it got denied? Because you got to be stuck in Tallahassee now. Yeah. Okay, she was a coward. Hi, Angela. Okay. Roxanne A. Wendi also said that family didn't take Dan's attempt at having Donna supervised with the kids seriously and really didn't think about it. That's what set the murder in motion. Yeah, I mean, Donna was, I'm sure, totally livid when she heard about that motion that Dan was trying to keep her from having unbridled access to the sunshines. Yeah, thanks, Ultra Testosterone, for being here again. It's too bad that part will not get admitted later when she's on trial. Yoo-hoo, Wendi, we know you're watching. Yeah, you never know who is watching you, right? So we got to be more careful, especially as this channel has gotten more exposure and more subscribers. So, yeah, Charlie Adelson for life in jail, ASAP. Will there be a hung jury? You never know with a Florida jury, right? That's what everybody says. The Florida juries can be very unpredictable. No hung trial for Charlie. Okay, we shall see. Hope not. Yeah, 5 car 5. Wendi downplayed everything in her testimony, but then Lacasse refuted all of that. He was so credible and likable. Thank goodness for him. Yeah. Donna and Wendi scare me. I think they'd kill the kids rather than give them to the Markels. Oh, I don't know. That sounds pretty awful. Yeah. Donna needs to be jailed too. Yeah, I mean, my wild guess is that Donna would be the next to be arrested. Donna has plenty of evidence against her. Katie's first trial was hung. Yes, that's correct. Wendi doesn't have as much evidence against, unfortunately, yeah, but again, we just don't know what other evidence hasn't been revealed publicly. So let's just keep our fingers crossed. Charlie is done. Charlie has too much stuff against him. Yeah, phone calls, money transfers. Yes, yeah. I think we pretty much agree, or most of us agree with that. Okay. Charlie Adelson is also a middleman. Donna and Wendi ran the show. Yeah, we're not entirely sure whose idea it really was in the first place, but the whole family is obviously very engaged and intertwined. Katie's first trial was hung because they didn't understand the Dolce Vita recording. Yeah, but I thought it was also because that one woman, just felt bad for Katie and didn't want the kids to be left without both parents. Yeah, because that was the trial where Katie and Sigfredo were being tried together. Yeah. Yoo-hoo, Wendi, you're next to be arrested. These kids are being raised by liars, sociopaths, and murderers. Charlie kept the boys at least a few times and was around them all the time. I hope someone is watching those kids' safety. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I doubt CPS would want to get involved here where the kids are with the family members that haven't been charged criminally at this point. Wendi is the instigator, but they don't have evidence of her calling anyone or paying off anyone. Yeah, not as far as we know, right? Yeah, they have money and calls against Donna, not against Wendy's. Okay, they have Wendy's calls, just wait. I think Donna is next. I agree. They have tons against Donna. Just like everyone thought Harvey isn't involved, he is absolutely involved. Yeah. Harvey is a weak beta male, I think. Yeah, that's what I've read, that Donna really ran the show, but sometimes Harvey could get aggressive too, like when he got mad and almost violent with his friend, allegedly, after Charlie wrongfully accused the old family friend of sexually harassing him. Okay, Harvey is a weak patsy. I totally agree. They have to have more on Wendi and Donna, possibly Harvey. Yeah. I think we've only seen a tiny bit of what the state has. They have it. It'll come out during Charlie's trial. If it was up to me, all of them would be put on death row. But I doubt they can get Wendi or even Harvey. Yeah, we'll see. Oh, okay. I don't want to say more because I know Wendi is watching. Okay. If Wendi is watching, hey, let me just say something out there. This was brought up in one of the comments to somebody else's video, that if Wendi really wants to look good by the time of Charlie's trial, she really should be letting Dan Markel's parents see the kids more often and spend more time with them, because that will definitely go a long way towards her public reputation and how people feel about her. I think a lot of people are very disturbed that she has been playing games with Dan's parents and not letting them see the kids, and then conveniently letting them see them for less than a day, and then pulling the rug from under them, disinviting them from the older son's bar mitzvah. So just want to say that in case Wendi's attorney or Wendi is watching. If you want to look good with the public, then just go ahead and let the Markels see the grandchildren a little bit more. All the Adelsons are extremely dangerous. I also hope the children are being observed and an agency can step in as needed. The prosecution just proved they have more evidence we haven't even seen. We don't know what evidence they found at Charlie's house. Yes, correct. Wendi is 100% guilty. Yes, but the question is, what can be proven? Yeah. You can't relocate, kill him. Problem solved. Shaking my head. Yes. Ultra, they'll get Wendi. Just wait. Okay, hope so. Okay, I might have to skip over some of the comments. Yeah. Okay. Fancy Fiction's latest recording of Charlie talking to his friend was pretty sickening. They found some awful stuff in his house. Yeah, who knows what embarrassing stuff they found. Or maybe, yeah, I'm sure they gathered up a ton of stuff from his home before his parents could go in and see what other, like, embarrassing stuff he kept in there. Yeah. Okay, Georgia Kappelman is doing good work. I think Charlie will be the last to be tried. They won't go after Donna or Wendi. Oh, I don't know. I mean, it seems more likely that Donna will be next. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, John. I appreciate your support. He says you're doing great work here. Okay. Charlie is done. Donna, Wendi are next. Harvey is on the line. Okay. So Ultra says they have the bump calls, Donna giving money to Katie, etc. Okay, just a gut feeling. Plenty of evidence against Donna. Oh, oh, okay. So Tony is listening, but she wasn't able to help out tonight. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I do have this throat-soothing tea, which is kind of lukewarm right now. So let me drink something while you guys keep chatting in the chat box, okay? Oh, that's funny. Okay, so Lady Cymbeline says, I just walked by the snack machines at work. I saw a honey bun in there, laughing out loud. Okay. Yeah, I just went grocery shopping today and I saw a big box of honey buns too. But no, I am not going to buy honey buns just to eat it on camera and be like Katie Magbanua. So it's so unhealthy. Wow, why did Wendi think she would be granted relocation with the children? Not smart. Yeah, well, it was probably because I mean, what else could she do? She hated her life in Tallahassee and was miserable every day. And so why not spend some money on an attorney? And Donna was very surely egging her on the whole entire time and paying for the attorney's fees, right? Yeah, I think she knew she wouldn't get it, but her mother was pushing her to try. Yes, and we heard a bunch of those emails. Remember, Charlie, Wendi, and Donna were named in a legal document that has not been rescinded. They're all still considered part of the murder of Dan. Yes. That gluten causes brain fog and some serious side effects. Just walk away from the honey bun. Yeah. Does anybody out there actually eat honey buns? I mean, I've never heard of anybody actually craving that kind of stuff, but Katie really liked hers, except it had mold in it. Okay, Wendi was smart enough to cover her tracks. Wendi will blame it all on Charlie and possibly Donna after they are convicted. Yeah, probably. Yeah, like who could have done this? Somebody did it for me. Okay. Oh, heck no, you need to delve into this case more. Georgia Kappelman cited Donna's involvement many times in the Arthur hearing for Charlie. The wiretaps damn her. She signed the checks. Yeah, correct. She signed those checks for more than a year, about a year and a half or so, all those checks made out to Katie Magbanua when she wasn't even working there. Yeah. Harvey definitely will not be charged. They don't have any, whatever that is, on him. Well, I think there is some, but I'm not sure if that's enough to get a conviction, though. Yeah, so we shall see. Allison says, Wendi triggers me. Has anyone noticed the current crimes coming to trial regarding men making outcries? Johnny Depp, Charles Fallow. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess people are realizing that men can also be victims too, that it's not always the woman that's the poor victim in a abusive relationship or alleged abusive relationship. Okay, so Tony lets it be known that she is there. Thank you for being there. Yeah. Harvey is going down, says Roxanne. Yeah, Tony says she is working, sadly. Okay, hi, Maui Swift. Wendi Adelson is the female sociopath personality. Oh, okay, we can call you Tony. Okay. Wendi Adelson is very manipulative, fakes abuse, etc. Yeah, sounds like it from everything I've read so far. So, what about the Matsuri recording just entered into evidence against Charlie? Harvey complicit at the least in the cover-up. Yeah, I mean, he didn't sound surprised at all. He knew what was going on. Yeah. Hi, Norla. Thanks for tuning in from Sydney. Wendi Adelson is a total sociopath who will throw everyone under the bus if she gets in trouble. Is your voice scratchy from No, I think I just don't have a strong speaking voice, like everybody keeps like harping on my voice and what I should be doing. But I did actually see an ear, nose, and throat specialist about a week and a half ago. And they actually like stuck this like scope all the way down both my nostrils to see if I had any sort of nodules or signs of throat cancer or any sort of polyps problems. Everything is fine physically. So I think I just have a crappy voice and I don't sound like a newscaster. So not everybody can sound like a NPR broadcaster or some professional person, like Joel Waldman from Surviving the Survivor. So I'll just drink some more tea right here. But she did say that I could go to some sort of speech therapist. So I might schedule something for that. But bottom line is I just can't talk nonstop for too long. So sorry. I thought she didn't like being the prime parent slaving away with her children. Now wants full-time. She's so confused. Well, she wants them full-time so that her mother can be the one taking care of the kids down in South Florida, right? So, I mean, that's basically what happened from what we've seen, that the kids end up being with Donna so much of the time that she even said something like, I have 2 boys, or I have 2 boys to take care of. Charlie looked so pissed when the judge denied him a bond. They're man-eaters. Friday Night Live slumber party, guys. Who's okay? Yeah, because Tony has said she is available on Friday night, so we're going to continue reading some more documents, maybe from. Yeah, it depends on how far we get on Tuesday or Wednesday. Maybe on Friday we'll read the judge's decision regarding the motion for summary judgment in the Berkshire Life Insurance disability case that Charlie filed, trying to get disability insurance benefits. Yeah, because that just came out about a week ago. So I've been kind of itching to read that, but it is way too long for me to read by myself. So, okay. Charlie seems too arrogant for his predicament still. I think Charlie thinks he will still get off since he has high-paid lawyer. Yeah. Okay, so Friday we're planning on 7 o'clock, barring any unforeseen changes. So Friday at 7 o'clock, Tony will help me read some more again. Yeah, thank you. Okay, what did the, oh yeah. So I already went over that everything is normal. It's just me having a crappy voice. So you get what you pay for, right? Like I told other people, this isn't CNN or CNBC, so I just don't have a good speaking voice. Yeah, you forgot about that juror. Yeah, 7 p.m. Friday. Oh, thank you, Screaming Toad. Throwing mad love Judy's way. That's nice. Thank you. They might be rich, but they are classless. Yeah. Okay, so everyone's saying hi to each other. Wendi will definitely keep the kids from Dan's parents now because her brother may spend the rest of his life in prison. She would spite them. Yeah, that would just be, I mean, it's just so mean-spirited. And, it seemed like she was okay with inviting them down for less than a day in April so they could spend some time with the kids. And that could have been to make herself look good in time for Katie's trial. So she could say that at least, yes, they have seen the kids, but then she took away the bar mitzvah invitation the next day after Charlie got arrested. So, but I still think, it'll definitely make her look so much better and people like her a lot more if she starts letting the grandparents spend a little bit more time with the kids. I mean, they're certainly willing to pay for those plane tickets and come all the way down from Canada to Florida just to see them. Okay, Charlie seems to go from being arrogant to looking nervous. Hard to tell what he's thinking during a trial. Yeah, some people thought he looked like he was on medication or seemed to have some sort of mental health problems or whatever, but he definitely looked a bit sickly and pale and unhealthy. His looks have different, he's definitely deteriorated. He looks a lot more aged in the last few months. Yeah. Yep, holding them emotionally hostage. Grandparents' rights. Yeah, you guys definitely should watch that interview. There's another interview with Ruth Markel, as well as a woman named Sarah Franco from the Jewish Family Services. And they they were interviewed on Surviving the Survivor. So that's the other YouTube channel that covers the case extensively too. Can't imagine how Donna is managing with an arrest looming, diarrhea medication for sure. Yeah, I don't know if there's some medication that can really prevent that when she seems to have a very sensitive intestinal system, right? Oh, okay. So Wendi doesn't give I guess that stands for SHIT, about her public persona. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it after the way she testified at trial, where thousands and thousands of people have seen it. I agree, Judy, that will help her image to have the Markel see the boys. However, with Ruth Markel's book being published next month, I don't see Wendi being any more forward in relationships. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm looking forward to reading Ruth Markel's book, so I'm not sure if she really says much about Wendi there, though. Okay. All right, so let's get back to finishing. Yeah, I think I'll just finish this up, and then maybe there'll be another day where Tony or someone can help me out, and we'll read Wendi's response and her brief to this. Okay, because this is really, I'm pretty sure it should have been double spaced, at least in my court. It should be double spaced. So it's actually a longer document than expected. Okay, so E, the wife's pleadings fail to state a cause of action upon which relief can be granted. The wife's amended petition does not allege facts that would be required for a petition to relocate to be granted. On the issue of economic necessity, the wife's motion to relocate fails to allege any facts supporting the claim that she needs to move based on economic considerations. First, she does not and cannot plausibly allege that she's having economic trouble on her six-figure salary as a law professor. Second, nowhere in her pleading does she allege that she even looked for higher-paying jobs in Tallahassee and couldn't find such higher-paying work. All she alleges is that there is a job as a private firm attorney in South Florida for her that perhaps would offer, once cost of living is factored in, a bit more money, but no comparable benefits, flexibility, and stability to her present sinecure, in which she indisputably has lots of time to spend with the children. And since the children are at no risk of experiencing financial difficulties or deprivations in their current environment with the parents in their current positions, there is no reason to think the best interests of the children would require the wife to move. Indeed, the family's joint economic pie would suffer substantially if the relocation were to be authorized, simply because, in order to maintain his job and have a meaningful connection to his children, husband would have to incur the costs of 2 homes, 2 cars, and expensive weekly flights and airport parking. By contrast, the status quo is a recipe for financial success that will benefit the children in terms of their opportunities, educational and otherwise. On the issue involving parenting fitness and equality of caregiving responsibility, the wife's pleading nowhere alleges that husband is unfit or unloving as a parent, or that the children are not close to the husband. Moreover, there is no disputing the fact that the parents have been engaged in equal time sharing since the separation. As long as there is no factual dispute over the capacity and desire of both parents to play active roles, then this too indicates the failing of wife's petition to relocate as a matter of law. Wife's pleading fails to allege facts that would be enough to state a cause of action upon which relief can be granted. Even if all facts alleged in wife's pleading are construed in her favor, there is no rational basis to award relocation. See Meadows Community Association, Inc. versus Russell Tuddy, 928 Southern Section, 1276-1280. 2006 case noting that allegations of fact must be construed in non-moving parties' favor when assessing motions to dismiss for failure to state a cause of action. It is painfully obvious that in seeking a unilateral relocation, the wife is wasting the court's time and the family's hard-earned assets. The The court should dismiss the relocation petition with prejudice and award litigation costs to husband for having to endure frivolous litigation. Dated this 2nd day of May 2013. Daniel Markel, respondent/husband, Duggar and Duggar, PA, Thomas L. Duggar. That's his address. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so this was notarized with a certificate of service to Wendy's attorney then, who was Kristen Adamson in Tallahassee. Okay, great. So that's pretty much it. So let me see if anybody has any other comments that we want to address here. Okay, Wendi will just play victim and use people with her sociopathic personality. Indeed, the only way to tell what Charlie is thinking is for him to open his mouth, and he knows where that got him. Yeah. She's a very sick woman. Wait till her sons grow up and find out about their evil, disgusting mom. Okay, agreed. It's very odd now. 10 years and Wendi is still single. I wonder why. At least there are some smart guys out there. LOL. Okay. What's this? He probably had a sex swing. Are you talking about Charlie? Okay, yeah, who knows? He is all pale looking where he looks arrogant then nervous. Very hard to tell, but I think Charlie knows he's in trouble now. Yeah, you would think so. Remember, Charlie, Wendi, and Donna have been named co-conspirators in a legal document, and that has not been rescinded. Yes. Thank God for the bump. Okay, I agree. He looks like an extra from The Walking Dead. Yeah, he hardly gets any time out in the sun anymore. Yeah. Charlie may squeal on Wendi out of revenge for instigating the family's vendetta against Dan in the first place. Yeah, he's probably very resentful because, he was used to always taking care of things, wasn't he? Yeah, but even in Wendy's police interview, she immediately started mentioning him, although she claimed that he was only joking, right, about the hitman. He is being kept in solitary confinement, so it's hard to tell. Yeah, low vitamin D. Yeah, definitely. He looks pretty pasty, like he is no longer taking his steroids and being able to go outside in the beautiful Florida sunshine with his boat and different women, right? Okay, Michael says, howdy, Adelsons. I bet your hearts are bleeding. That is, if you actually have one, for bad luck, Chuck. Must be a bummer to have this on your conscience if you have one. Karma's a bitch sometimes. Okay. Yeah, rarely eat that stuff. Okay. Yeah, you're probably talking about the honey buns, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Coffee rolls, DND. Okay. Nobody was in Tallahassee spoiling Wendi. Why do you think Katie didn't rat on Charlie? Do you think out of fear of his family? It could have been, but I think she's just like not very intelligent, and she probably believed her attorneys who just kind of bought her story. I feel like maybe the attorneys might have been a little bit too emotionally intertwined with her, where they just really were diehard believers in Katie's innocence. And so, maybe she was overconfident thinking that she could beat the rap since there was a hung jury before. So she just thought she could play dumb and get out of it. Yeah. Okay. Donna almost had a heart attack when the guy came up to her. Well, yeah. Throat issues, says yours. Yeah, thyroid, gluten intolerance. Okay. Okay. Well, some people do have naturally croaky, scratchy voices, though. So, yeah, but I do need to go see my regular doctor for a blood test because I have had thyroid issues in the past. He should be comfortable in his prison clothes. They look like typical medical scrubs. Yeah, sort of do. Yeah, with that V-neck and the short sleeves, right? Having worked as an RN in a past life, I can say they are stupid comfy. Okay, yeah, so who knows if it's made out of the same material, though, for the prisoner's clothes. Kappelman is a good prosecutor who seems to be genuinely upset by this and is trying to get justice. Yeah, I think she and their team, they're all doing a really good job. He's the new dentist in the jail, right? To me, it feels like Harvey is the least guilty. Well, it's also just that we don't as the public, we don't see as much evidence against him, but there is definitely evidence against him. Yeah. Let's see. Yes, Harvey is involved. How the hell was Charlie Adelson making $3 million a year? I'm sure he was doing massive fraud. That's what I'm wondering too. Although that could have also been income from all his real estate investments. And then, of course, he was selling marijuana or selling steroids also on the side. And then he had his legal funding business with Ryan, his friend. So he had a lot of different things going on. So maybe it wasn't just from his work in the dental offices. Oh, and insider trading too. Yeah, thanks to Fancy Fiction, we have heard about him having all this insider trading information. Yeah, Georgia wears a cape. I respect her. Wonder how Katie is doing in prison. Think she's suddenly, yeah, so that's where True Lifestyles comes in, because she did get a lot of information about Katie's life at the jail in Leon County, and that's how we found out that Katie had a girlfriend there named Trinity, and that Katie was constantly getting written up for some problems and her behavior while she was there, but she's not at that Leon County jail anymore. Yeah, but True Lifestyles also has some info about Charlie too. Charlie was doing steroids, having sex with underage women overseas, did fraudulent billing, etc. Yes. Yeah, that's basically what I've heard. I don't think she had any fear of Charlie. I think he promised her she would never be convicted, and seeing as the first trial ended in a hung jury, she thought she had a pretty good chance. Yes, yeah. What do you think of the new evidence presented at the Arthur hearing? Yeah, I mean, that was pretty surprising, because I had never actually seen or heard the words that were spoken between Harvey and Charlie at that restaurant. So, it definitely makes it more clear to me that Harvey knew what was going on and approved of it, and was in clear communication with Charlie. So, I was also really happy to hear Georgia Kappelman mention Charlie's deposition as part of the civil lawsuit that he's involved in, trying to get disability benefits. So clearly the state already knows about that, and probably has already talked to the CPA and other people that are also people who have given information in that case. Yeah, so he just has so many legal issues going on that it's actually kind of funny that now it's coming back to bite him. See, use a different mic. I don't think the microphone is going to help my voice. I'm sorry. Yeah. Let's see. When does Charlie's court case start? So the judge on Friday was talking about sometime in late February or early March. And he also said that if they couldn't do it by then he would skip the rest of March because of spring break concerns. So if they can't do it by early March, then it would probably not be until April or even May. So there is another status or case management hearing coming up in December, but I didn't hear a specific date being mentioned on Friday. Let's see. Oh, you're glad to hear nothing's okay. Speech therapy. Yeah, hopefully it's not going to be too expensive with insurance. Yeah, she dropped those kids off at Donna's every chance. Correct. I love the new evidence. Love Charlie guessing that a recorder was in the bag. What was it, Charlie? The big red flashing light. Well, I did see somebody's comment where he said that listening to the recording, it sounded more like Charlie was saying that he thinks Katie's phone is tapped or Katie's calls are being recorded. Yeah, but I haven't listened to it very, very carefully myself, since it is kind of hard to hear. So I want to listen to that some more. But most people are saying that he did actually say that he thought that there was a recorder in the bag. Could they still offer Katie a deal now that Charlie is growing to trial? Yeah, I really doubt it. In the Surviving the Survivor last week, when they had a law professor from the UK who was a former police officer also, and then they also had John Singer as the guest together. I remember one of the guests mentioned something like, well, maybe Katie could make some sort of slight deal where she could be transferred to a different prison closer to her family or something in exchange for giving information, but they're not going to just flat out, cut down her sentence just for her saying something against Charlie at this late hour, because otherwise everybody who's just been convicted would go, changing their stories and saying whatever they thought could get them a deal. So I think it's really too late for her. Okay. I have no doubt Charlie was taking care of her family, and he made her a lot of promises, and he convinced her she wouldn't be convicted. She had her chance. Too bad. Yeah. Yeah, totally. I mean, Charlie's a big talker. He likes to act like he's in charge and he knows everything. He knows how to handle everything. So I could totally see him convincing Katie a long time ago not to squeal. I think the judge said Charlie's trial. Yeah. So the earliest would be sometime in late February. Okay, so you might be a little late on Friday. That's fine. Yeah, 7 o'clock, Friday at 7. What are you thinking Harvey's involvement is? Not in a snarky way asking because I'm curious. Well, I think he was totally in on it from the start. But, again, I feel like we as the public, we don't know everything that's out there. But from what little I do know about Harvey, it's not like totally slam dunk. For example, those phone calls that allegedly took place where Sigfredo called Harvey's cell phone and then Katie called Harvey's cell phone number probably several weeks before Dan was murdered. I mean, that to me seems very suspicious because there was really, in my opinion, no reason for either one of them to have had Harvey's cell phone number because Katie wasn't even working for Harvey. And I mean, I don't think it matters that Katie was dating Charlie back then, because how many of these, friends with benefits type people happen to have their partner's father's cell phone numbers? That just seemed kind of weird. So that was one thing, as well as the fact that Harvey and Donna were both supposed to be meeting with the Tallahassee police officer to speak with him on Monday after Dan died. And they never showed up or never contacted the police. And when the police officer called Wendi on her cell phone, she said something about how she couldn't talk, or she basically brushed him off. And then a few minutes later, her attorney called back the police officer. And so therefore, neither Harvey nor Donna ever spoke with the Tallahassee police as they had previously said they would. So that sounds a little suspicious, as well as some witnesses allegedly saying that Harvey's demeanor was totally weird and suspicious, very bizarre behavior that weekend after Dan had just died. The fact that, Donna was the one writing the payments from the Adelson Institute to Katie. I'm sure Harvey knew about that. Harvey's vehicle being given to Katie. So let's see, what else? So after the bump, Charlie allegedly told Katie that his parents wanted to meet with her and wanted to talk with her at his parents' condo, and they knew everything. But luckily, I think Katie was a little smart there, and she didn't want to meet with Harvey and Donna at their condo. So instead, she ended up talking with Charlie somewhere, I think. So anyway, that's just my recollection off the top of my head. So Wendi was nauseating, trying to downplay her intelligence. Yes, exactly. Like even at the first trial, I think when she acted like she couldn't even really remember her address, or she couldn't even remember how many times she had met Katie, just pausing and acting all like evasive. Yeah, it was pretty off-putting. My ex was in Iraq. Okay, I had a rough time moving my kids from Pennsylvania to Florida. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, the jail food is awful. Yeah, that's basically what people have said online, that the jail food in Leon County was awful. Women who use kids as weapons makes me so mad. The boys must be so confused. Yeah. I wonder how they're doing and what they have heard so far. Yeah. Chucky looks like a crackhead. Yeah. Who's Frenos do Corleone? Okay. Let's see. Oh, maybe she has Crohn's disease. Yeah, it could be, or stress-induced, right? Because didn't Wendy have a lot of stomach pains anytime she was slightly upset? Yeah. Okay. Think it's too late for Wendy to redeem herself in the public forum. The toilet will be super close in her cell. Okay. Harvey is just a small weasel beta gamma male type who gets run over by Donna but is sneaky and corrupt. I mean, yeah, somebody did mention somewhere that Harvey had a pretty meek or mild milk toast personality at the dental practice. I can't remember if it was someone who said that they had worked in the dental field and knew him or knew the family or something. Charlie is not used to eating bologna sandwiches. I'm sure that's what they're feeding him. He's used to having steak dinners. Yeah. Harvey probably just went along with it because Donna was a dominant force and wanted Dan dead. Yeah, it could be, although, supposedly the whole entire family totally hated Dan too. It wasn't just Donna. Yeah, it was also Harvey as well as, Wendi and Charlie. Yeah. Okay, let's see more receipts. Okay. It's possible, but highly unlikely because she's pretty locked into her denial for all these years. Besides that, they don't really need her with the evidence they have. Think that ship has sailed. Yes, yeah, in regards to Katie having anything of use now to say. Once Wendi is arrested, the truth will come out. She will crack. She worked 6 hours a week at FSU, but wanted to move for a full-time position. Yeah, with a law firm. Her arguments made zero sense. Yes, I agree with that. Oh, yeah, right, Katie being a model inmate, yeah. Well, she was like yeah, she was arguing with people and cursing at the jail staff in Leon County and somehow got her nose pierced while she was there, and, uh, she was also found with a woman, I don't know if it was Trinity, maybe, yeah, with a woman in her bed with her, yeah. So that was from True Lifestyles YouTube channel. Okay, well, Wendi put it all on Charlie. Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's basically what happened during the police interrogation. It's all, just pointing fingers and saying it was all Charlie. Yeah, I can see that. Great points. Harvey Adelson must be looking over his shoulders like his wife and daughter freaked him out. Now he is part of the prosecutor's evidence against his creepy son. Yeah. Is Wendi getting charged at some point, do you think? Yeah, that's what I'm not sure, but, the state did put in one of their filings earlier this year that Wendi was also a co-conspirator along with Donna and Charlie. So, we're still waiting to see what other evidence there is. Yeah, so I'm sure we're gonna find some more interesting information gradually, if not before, but definitely at Charlie's trial. Charlie should take a plea deal and tell the truth. Maybe he'll get out someday. Yeah, who knows? After all, with that in the Mike Williams case, which was also in Tallahassee, um, I think they gave Brian Winchester a deal where he only had to serve 20 years, even though he was the one that actually shot Brian Williams in the head. In order for Brian to rat out Denise Williams, who was Mike's wife. Yeah, so who knows if they would offer him such a deal. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, I bet that got her especially mad, frivolous. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Dan slash his attorney certainly used a lot of harsh language and fighting back on that motion to relocate. Yeah. Which, I don't blame them. I think most people would be pretty upset if someone tried to take their children away to move to another part of the state. Hobbs got it right to deny Wendi. Yeah, correct. All the evidence is against Charlie and Donna now. How can a whole family be so awful? Heck, Donna seemed like a caring mom who raised 3 successful humans. What happened? Well, I guess they were used to getting their way since they had so much money. As Donna said, everybody has a price, or everyone has a price, when she was talking about offering Dan $1 million to take the kids away. Okay, Wendi seems pretty clean evidence. Okay. Known evidence and affidavits. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. Also, seeing as they were successful in obtaining a conviction on all counts on Katie, I would have to believe the prosecutors are feeling pretty good about Charlie's trial. More evidence, yeah. Yeah, that's right. I agree. There might be some hidden evidence we can hope for. It's all pretty sad. Charlie Bug. I want Charlie looking his very best so the jurors don't feel sorry for him. Bring in that tanning bed. That would be funny. I doubt they're going to give him a tanning bed. That was some joke. Yeah. Misses his boat for sure. Solitary confinement has to be the worst. That would drive me crazy. Yes, I agree. Although I wonder if he has stuff to keep him occupied while he's sitting there by himself, like a tablet, or, he's got his MP3 player where he can listen to all those wiretap recordings of himself. Maybe he has reading materials or, Sudoku or something that he can do, not just sitting there with nothing. Yeah. She needed the money. Oh, but Katie is a college graduate, they kept saying. Yeah, that's right. But, yeah, plenty of college graduates are out there committing crimes, right? Did you see how hard Wendi was working? So hard to not have to testify at the second trial. The motions submitted by her lawyer on her behalf were flying. She wanted to be able to submit a letter instead. Oh, okay. I didn't even know that. Okay. Yeah, interesting. Thanks for that information. Kappelman is taking down the Adelsons one by one. I wouldn't want to be in Donna, Harvey, or Wendy's shoes. They're coming for them. Okay. Charlie really can't do anything other than save Wendy's ass. But why would he want to do that? It doesn't seem like he respected her that much. Yeah. No kind of deal. Can Charlie communicate with Katie? I don't think so. Yeah. Somehow I don't think the prisoners are able to communicate with each other, but if somebody knows the definitive answer, please let me know. I wonder, has Katie put up her college diploma in herself? Yeah, I doubt it. Yeah, that would require a nail, right? Like some sort of things that could be used as weapons. Yeah. Gigolo Joe juggling his 87 girlfriends, a real Romeo. Not so much now. Maybe he'll get a job in prison making 50 cents a day. Yeah, although I don't think they would allow him to actually give medical care to the prisoners, though. The state has unlimited funds. They can get forensic accountants in if needed. Yes, that's correct. That's why it was even funnier in that letter released to the media, where Sigfredo was telling Katie that he's going to keep appealing. He's going to keep fighting until the state gets tired of me and just gives up. And I'm like, since when does that happen? Where the state's like, oh, we're tired of this guy filing stuff, so let's just, let him out now. Yeah. So that kind of was funny. Sigfredo's letter to Katie after he got sentenced to life. Can you explain the MP3 problem? I'm confused about whether Charlie had one or was denied one. Oh, he was allowed to get an MP3. Yeah, just based on what True Lifestyles found out, that he already got an MP3, but maybe back then, maybe he was limited as to how long he could use it. I'm not really sure, but Judge Wheeler did seem like he was he was concerned about some of the things that Charlie's attorney had said, how tough it was dealing with the jail to try to coordinate things, so that the attorney could work with Charlie and Charlie could have access to looking at documents and things. So the judge said he would do what was necessary to facilitate, the assistance of Charlie and his attorney in preparing for trial. Okay, Charlie seems to think he was a stud due to making money and doing voids, but he wasn't able to get attractive girlfriends, had to go overseas to have sex with women. No, he got women in Florida, right? Like, people keep saying that those women like Katie are like a dime a dozen in South Florida. There are tons of those types of young women that are just, all looking for rich men and stuff. So yeah, I think Charlie was happy also in South Florida too. Yeah, thank you, Maya, for being here. Yep, you're here for forensic accountants. Great. Okay, the mothership is coming. He'll be filling a lot of cavities from all that soda and little Debbie's. Yeah, well, the prisoners do get dental care and medical care while they're in prison or jail. He did again get his MP3 to listen to transcripts, etc., but only so many hours to use it to prepare for trial. Yes. Okay. Hollywood will make more money from this documentary film Netflix series than the entire Adelson practice. Yeah, so apparently there's some HBO Max special that's going to be coming out. I'm not sure when, maybe later this year or next year. And seems like Jeffrey Lacoste is involved with the production of that, maybe. I'm not really sure. Let's see. Hi, everybody. Hi, Lynette. Thanks for being here. I think Donna will get arrested just before his trial starts. Yeah, that could be happening. Or some people think maybe by the end of the year. I also think Katie would never admit to Sigfredo's mother or her children that she was the one who got her husband and father of their sons to murder another father of two sons. That's right. Yeah, Katie definitely seems to have a big ego, and she would never admit to that after all these years of claiming that she's totally innocent. Yeah. Okay, didn't know about those calls. Yeah. Blowing out 55 birthday candles. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, happy birthday. Good point. Her relationship with Sigfredo's mom was close, even though she verbally abused her. Yeah, I mean, based on Fancy Fiction's wiretap phone call videos, it does seem like Sigfredo's mother was just extremely patient with Katie and seemed to have some common sense. Yeah. Okay, happy birthday, Lynette. Yeah, free coffee at McDonald's for 55 and up. Okay. I felt Harvey was involved all along. None of them ever mentioned Dan in any of their conversations. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, just the way they all behaved after he was killed is also pretty suspicious. Yeah. Oh, okay. True Lifestyles is here. Thank you for being here. I can't wait to see your next video, so let us know when that one will come out. Oh, okay. Thank you. I've never mentioned your voice before. It's fine. Yeah, but I definitely feel like I'm like giving out here. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Drew is in the house. Did you see how Charlie hurt his back in the Ram Matsuri video on ML channel? A girl in Vietnam walked on his back? What? Really? It was mentioned in the Matsuri video? Okay, well, yeah, because I started listening to it and it was just like so hard to hear it that I didn't have time to really like turn it up really loud and listen to it when I was on vacation this weekend. So interesting. So now he's saying that he hurt his back from when some girl in Vietnam walked on his back. What? That is so weird, given that he claimed in his lawsuit that he hurt his back sitting in a taxi cab in the Philippines back in January of 2016. So, yeah, who knows what the truth is, right? It's as if Dan or his murder did not exist or happen. Donna and Chucky talked about acquaintances getting sick. Yeah, and remember that friend that was dying of cancer, pancreatic cancer? Yeah, but never once showing empathy for her grandchildren who lost their father. That's correct. Or for the Markels. Yep. Oh, Deep Dive True Crime is here. Thank you for being here and all your coverage of the case also. Making love with big black men, now not young Latinas. Okay, you're talking about Charlie? Well, he's in solitary, so he's just by himself now. Yeah, it astounds me how you can have an entire family, all highly intelligent, all be okay with murder. Yeah. Who are you all talking about? Yeah, that's a good question because I think I'm really behind showing up the comments versus addressing people. Those Berkshire lawyers need to know that, but they don't seem interested. Yeah, or maybe they already know about it. Yeah, I have a feeling they probably have already gotten all the criminal record, criminal case records. So but like I might have mentioned to you that I did send an email to one of the attorneys, but never heard back from him. So I assume they already know that. Hi, True. I couldn't make out much in the raw audio. It was hurting my ears. Can you do a video breakdown of it? Oh, yeah, that would be great if you had time to do that. Is there jalapeno squeezed cheese for Katie at her new prison? Yeah, I think so. I think it's still that same company, Keith, that provides all the care packages and food and stuff for different jails and prisons throughout the whole country. Yeah. So I could not figure out a place online to buy that Cactus Annie's jalapeno squeezed cheese that Katie likes, but it looks disgusting anyway. It's probably like cheap Velveeta. She losing the kids now. Oh, are you talking about Wendi? No, I mean she still has her children. You know, she's still out and hasn't been charged criminally, so she has the ability to parent her kids. So, you know, that's what some people are upset about, but those are still her children, and she hasn't been charged or convicted of anything. He did not serve 1 day for the murder. Really? Brian Winchester? I thought he served I thought he agreed to serve 20 years. Did it get overturned or something on appeal? Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, well, thank you. But this is a totally different murder case. Yeah, the murder of Mike Williams. Can you do a video on Tiffany Haddish or Haddish? Yeah, I actually don't want to do that because of the nature of the allegations about her and that the other person. Yeah, because YouTube is very sensitive if you talk about certain topics. So if you talk about things involving kids, and I don't want to say the terms because I could get my live stream shut down. Yeah, if you talk about those kinds of crimes involving children, I have a feeling that YouTube will probably, take down the video or just shut down the live stream. Or at the very least, they would just like turn it to like no monetization or something, limited monetization. So it's not really worth my time to read up on that whole entire case and then talk about it, and then it gets shut down anyway. So yeah, because it already takes me a really long time to read up on a bunch of these different lawsuits and the Markel case and other things going on with the legal profession. Yeah, but although no, I think Debt Free Dad did a live stream or is planning to do a video about that case. Yeah, it seems to still be up, but after what happened when I tried to talk about the Josh Duggar case, I just felt like, man, that it was so not worth my time. I got a lot of really rude people posting comments and criticizing me, and then what was the point? Make like 2 cents off of that? No, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for telling people to smash the like button. Okay, yeah, everybody is here. Oh, okay, but he was sentenced to 20 years for the kidnapping of his co. Oh, okay. Thank you for the details there. Yeah, because the way that guy, Brian Winchester, got caught was because after he married his so-called friend Mike Williams's wife, Denise, after many years of marriage, then their marriage broke down, not surprisingly. And then he was accused of kidnapping her and sticking a gun to her side, and she got scared and ran off to the police. So he cut a deal, I guess, agreeing that he did kidnap Denise, but not to the murder of Mike. Okay, so I'm just guessing. I don't know 100% everything about this, but thank you, Mentor Lawyer, for the info. Yeah, it's very interesting how with some crimes, people think they got away with it for so many years, and then after 17 years, finally, there was a break in the case. Yeah, so the gang is here. Brian Winchester was highly credible. It was a necessary evil to give him a deal to testify on Denise Williams. Katie is in the same prison as Denise. Oh, okay, interesting. Okay. I'm stopping by to say hello and like the video. Thank you so much. Yeah. Venom runs in her veins. Yes, we're all here. Yeah, it just seems like everybody just wants to keep discussing this case. There's just so much to talk about, and everybody has their own opinions and views of what happened and who's involved. Just when you think your family is effed up, just look at the Adelson. Okay. Oh, how was the trip? Yeah, I just went to a local beach not too far away. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, but had to get back to work today, so I'm not really on my cruise. That was an old video from more than 3 years ago when I went on a Disney cruise. So, okay. Hi, Antoine. Thank you all for being here. They must arrest Wendi. She cannot play the victim anymore. Yeah. But again, they have to have all their ducks in a row and be sure that they have any sort of evidence of whatever charges they would bring against her. Yeah. I was fishing about the trip. Oh, okay. Maybe they can buy Sunless Tanner in jail. Yeah, maybe. It seems like there are a lot of different toiletry items that the people can buy for their friends and family in jail. Will the court make Katie testify? I don't think so because her case is over. So it would only be if she voluntarily wanted to testify. I don't think they can make her testify, just like nobody could force Sigfredo Garcia to get up on the stand and testify either at Katie's trial. He's in general population. Yeah, but he also is in solitary, so he gets a cell to himself. Okay, yeah, thank you, Tony. Katie is as dumb as they come. She's rogue. Yeah. Will the state still need to discuss which evidence will be used in Charlie's trial? Well, I mean, maybe amongst themselves. Yeah. And they do have to turn over evidence to Charlie's attorneys also so that they can mount their defense. So, do you think Wendi will be prosecuted? Maybe. Yeah. I can't give any definitive answers because I don't have any sort of like inside source, but perhaps, yeah, perhaps Wendi's drive-by crime scene and buying bullet bourbon can be evidence of knowledge in the least. Yeah, and I think it is. I was watching, what was it? There's like another YouTube channel called Morbid Curiosity that recently put out a video about the Dan Markel case. It's about half an hour long, and I watched most of it today. And so a lot of it is showing more footage from Wendi's police interview. So just watching it now, it's like, oh my gosh, that just sounds so fake. And, like when they ask her, like, can you think of anybody who would have wanted to do this to Dan? Then she starts mentioning about how, like, you know, he would rub people the wrong way, and then suddenly she starts breaking down and boohooing and stuff, and in the back of my mind now, I'm thinking, "Come on, you knew that your brother was looking to hire a hitman. Why didn't you say that?" Isn't that fishy now? So yeah, I recommend that everybody rewatch that police interview over and over again, or go watch that Morbid Curiosity video for some snippets of the police interview. It does seem kind of strange, knowing what we know now, to go back and watch, what kind of reaction, and just breaking down, crying and stuff, and not even answering the police officer's questions. That seemed kind of fishy to me also. Uh, um, you know, Nowhere did she mention that her brother had already looked into hiring a hitman back in 2013, which is what her ex-boyfriend said. So, anyway, just one of many moments that seems kind of strange. Charlie looks so pale, the sun doesn't shine in solitary confinement. Yeah, hi Stella. They communicate via a kite? Okay, interesting. How long do I have to reside in Leon County to be eligible for jury duty? Asking for a friend. That's what I'm not sure of, and maybe Deep Dive True Crime answered it for you already because he's actually an attorney in Florida. Yeah, usually, as far as I know, as long as you get a driver's license there, then you could be pulled in for jury duty. But I don't want to say anything definitively because I'm not in Florida. So, oh, okay, yeah. Some people mentioned this, but my Filipino American relative says the correct way to pronounce it is, in fact, Magbanua, which is the way that Rashbaum pronounced it. So he was trying to pronounce it the correct Filipino way. But then on the other hand, when I listened to the trial, Tara Kawas was pronouncing Katie's last name the way that pretty much everybody else pronounces it, which is Magbanua. So I kind of feel that, like maybe after a while, Katie just didn't really care about making sure people pronounced her name correctly. So everybody just called her Katie Magbanua. Yeah. Whereas Rashbaum is probably trying to be authentic, But I've mentioned before that if it's good enough for Filipino American legal commenter David Latt to call her Katie Magbanua, then that's what I'll call her too, because to me it's a little easier to say that than to keep remembering, okay, you have to pronounce it Magbanua. So yeah. Okay. That's what they call it. Okay. Maybe they can write love notes in code. Okay, you're still talking about Charlie and Katie writing notes to each other, maybe. Okay, I wonder if Charlie has animosity. Yes, I'm sure he does. Charlie feels comfortable in similar attire to Scrub. Yeah, maybe. Judy, thanks so much for joining Patreon. By the way, did you set it up yet for? No, I haven't. I haven't looked all into that. I mean, I did get some sort of email from YouTube saying, congratulations, you can now set up membership and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, that sounds kind of cheesy to have I don't know. I mean, I don't want to make people feel bad or whatever, but yeah, I mean, because it seems like if you set up Patreon or have membership levels to your channel, then that requires even more work from the YouTuber to create perks and set up special meetings. And, you have to offer something in order to have membership levels, because why else would anybody want to pay you per month to be a Patreon member or member of your channel? Yeah, so I don't know if anybody really wants to do that. So I'm kind of overwhelmed as it is with work and YouTube stuff, but I'll definitely look into it eventually. But right now it's not a big priority of mine. But anyway, do appreciate the support of so many people. And Deep Dive True Crime is very inspirational because I saw some of his old videos where, back then he probably only had a few hundred subscribers and he was still running around making his videos and he didn't give up and, doing a lot of coverage of the Markel case and putting it all together. So yeah, that's still another thing to do on a rainy day is just to go back and watch all of Mentor Lawyer's old videos from more than 2 years ago about the Dan Markel case too, as well as other cases. Wonder if Wendi goes to visit. Well, so far, it seems like nobody's visited him in jail unless there's been any visits recently because True Lifestyles was looking up all the jail records for Charlie as well as his phone records. So it looked like nobody had visited him as of July. Yeah. He was given access for a few hours per week or to something where he can listen to the MP3s. Yes. Just discovered True Lifestyles channel. Love her content. Oh, that's great. Yeah. Okay, do you think Rashbaum could have done more with calling witnesses or making a slideshow for Charlie's hearing? Or do you have an opinion why they didn't mention? Yeah, well, I give credit to Rashbaum for not pulling that kind of like silly sympathy pool, mentioning the little kid because, based on what little I have seen through the paternity and child support lawsuit, the child's mother was claiming that he was a crappy dad and that he would just run off and disappear for weeks or days on end without even letting her know where he was and not even checking up on the child. He didn't help provide financially after a while for the child and didn't help pay for health insurance. So that's why she had to bring that paternity and child support lawsuit against him. So yeah, so Rashbaum probably knew that that would be kind of a flimsy argument to claim that, oh, Charlie needs to get out to help take care of his son. Yeah, right. Yeah, and I'm not sure if he really could have called witnesses to that kind of Arthur hearing. But of course, the disclaimer is I don't practice law in Florida, much less criminal law. So I'm not sure if he really needed a slideshow either. Because maybe even like what True Lifestyles did, making these graphics about Charlie's trips, all his international trips for the last 6 years. I don't know, that might not have really persuaded the judge to see that, oh, well, he was like running here, running there. He has all that money and maybe even connections in other countries to be able to, be a flight risk or to run off. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I feel like his new attorney did about as well as he could have given the facts or the evidence against his client. Okay, hi Godzilla Cat. Yeah, thanks for being here. Good points. I think the defense could have done more too. Yeah. Well, ultimately, in my opinion, the correct decision was made by the judge anyway. Yeah. HBO got nothing on Hitman option. Yeah. Well, that is definitely like a legal comedy, I guess, legal true crime / comedy thing. So Mentor Lawyer has been trying to put together his own movie about the Dan Markel case, and you can see on his channel, it's called the Hitman option, although it's still in the process of being done, right? Because he only recorded some of it where he was playing Thomas Duggar, and he hired a professional actress to play the role of Wendi Adelson at the family law deposition. Yeah, so it's very, very entertaining. I thought that was just the most hilarious thing ever. Okay. Okay, at the Arthur hearing, the defense lawyer could have mentioned Charlie's ties to the community. Yeah, oh, but he has no patience anymore, right? Yeah, I don't think he was working. Was he even working this year? Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, via his son. Yeah. Well, I think he did mention that, Charlie has like lived all his life down in South Florida and stuff. So, yeah. Being a parent doesn't exempt one from being held accountable for a crime they're charged with. A judge says he's a danger to the community. Netflix should hire a mentor lawyer and you to consult. Okay. Yeah, that would be interesting. Or, yeah, obviously, there are people who know a lot more about the case than I do, like mentor lawyer, fancy fiction. Stella, I know I just expected his team to pull out all the stops to make him seem more needed. And oh, yeah, is he really needed? Yeah, no dentist, but yeah, nobody would be like, oh, we got to have him to help pull people's teeth. Yeah, please let him come back down to work, right? Because it seems like he burned a lot of bridges and a lot of people, started suspecting him in Dan Markel's murder and didn't want anything to do with him. Also, defense lawyer could have mentioned during the Arthur hearing that Charlie's face is so well known globally that long-term escape would be futile. Oh, I don't know if that's really a good argument that he can't escape because people know his face. Oh no. Must be hell on earth for Charlie to listen to all those phone and yeah, but he likes listening to himself, right? I'm sure. Although if Charlie escaped to Mexico, they wouldn't extradite if an accused is facing the death penalty. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know if Charlie would be safe there either. And I don't know if he speaks Spanish. Yeah. When it comes to something as serious, murder charges, that excuse doesn't work and it's inappropriate to use a child as a shield. And that way it wouldn't have been very effective. Yeah. Let's see, a little more new evidence came out regarding Harvey. Yes, exactly. That was very interesting. I will cut and paste the part into a video where the girl walked on his back. Lots of stuff about June. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, because that video was just so long and it was hard to hear. So I really appreciate you taking the time to, add captions or highlight anything. I mean, same with Deep Dive True Crime. He has a lot of videos where he will highlight certain aspects of a video that might otherwise be very long and hard to hear. Hi, Judy. I'll have to listen on replay. Oh, okay. Thank you, Blue Brown. I think Lee is just saying the defense could have presented a more robust argument for release on bond. His presentation was lackluster. Oh, well, I thought his brief sounded good, but we knew that some of it was totally untrue, right? Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, okay. Well, I haven't really been gone. Yeah, I just went on vacation for about 3.5 days. Yeah. Matsuri with pauses, almost done with my edits, comments. Yes. Okay, that's great. That's great. I can't wait to see it. Thank you. I put up the entire trial involving a minor as a victim. Oh, okay. And that didn't get taken down or hit with limited monetization. Yeah. I don't know. I just don't really want to cover, the whatever. I guess I shouldn't even say it. Yeah, children as victims of deviant crimes. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Yeah, just edited out the child's name. Okay, well, that's great. Georgia has not shown all her cards. No way. She's got the goods on the others, just pacing herself and slowly turning the screws to the Adelsons. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, she definitely seems very competent. It was a lot of work. Yes, exactly. Yeah, you have to put in so much work for every single video, right? This case reminds me of the murder of Rusty Snyderman, likely also set up by the wife. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know anything about that case. Wow, there are just so many cases people keep telling me to look into. Yeah, Brian Winchester and Denise. Oh, yeah, I remember you mentioned that before, and you said that Brian was mean to Ainsley, to Denise and Mike's daughter. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, but otherwise, did they seem sort of normal to you? Yeah, these people who decided to kill off Mike Williams many, many years ago. Oh, okay. So he's already gone, but thank you for being here, mentor. Totally off topic. I have a favorite opening statement of all time. Chandler Halderson trial. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's another thing I gotta deal. Gotta look into. There are just so many weird, wacky crimes going on, especially in Florida too. Why is it always Florida? Yeah. Although I was watching the opening statements today in that Roden Wagner case up in Ohio, where the whole family got massacred over a custody battle. Yeah, so that's another case that I've been following. So maybe Tony and I can do a live stream about that. Jeff Lacasse will write the book everyone wants to read. Can you imagine a scoop? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he wants some anonymity or privacy at this point, right? Yeah, definitely justice for the Markel family. Thanks for all your hard work. Oh, thank you, 5car5. Yeah, you always have such good information to share with everybody. Here's what Charlie Adelson should do. Spill the tea, tell the truth, take a plea deal. Yeah, wouldn't that be the right thing to do at this late hour? Yeah, yeah. Oh, thank you, Maya. Thank you for your expertise and for this channel, Judy 2024. Oh, okay. Thank you, Analog Orchestra. I will republish it. Yes. Okay, sure. Whatever you want to republish, that is great, because people can't get enough of it. And even if we just have like a premiere where people can chat in the chat box, it's always a lot of fun and very interesting too. Oh, Wendy's full interview. Okay, awesome. I watched it on ML's channel many times. It's bizarre. Yeah, you're talking about Wendy's police interview. Yeah. Hit the like button, friends. Okay, thank you, Sunny. Why do you think the prosecutor doesn't arrest and prosecute the entire Adelson family? What's the point of waiting? Well, I would like to think that it was actually strategy. And so far it's worked out well, because I can totally see why at first people were disgusted that it was the low-hanging fruit, the poor people of color who got arrested and put away in jail first, and then Charlie has been free for an extra six plus years. But in the interim, they've been able to gather, I think, more evidence and talk to more witnesses, because Charlie has just pissed off so many people, or maybe the Adelsons in general have just, made so many enemies over the years, or friends have realized that they don't want to be friends with them anymore. So perhaps the strategy of being slow and methodical has actually worked out to be good for prosecuting the criminals, because more evidence can be amassed. So I think that's why they're not going to just sweep up everybody and just, throw whatever charges they think will stick. They have to really think things through and figure out, do we have enough evidence at this point to win a conviction against this person, versus, oh yeah, of course they're guilty, so let's just bring them all in, because you only get one shot of trying somebody for a crime. So I watched all of True Lifestyle's videos. Yes, that's right. Yeah, it's all very, very interesting. Yeah. Rashbaum and I say it correctly. That's right. Yeah. I mean, that's cool if people want to say Magbanua, because that is the correct Filipino way to pronounce it. But it's the same thing with people, anybody who has like a non-English last name. Like I just tell people my last name is Singh, like sing a song, but that's not the correct way to pronounce it at all. So it's really pronounced Zun, but nobody can pronounce it correctly. So just to make things easier, all my life, I've always just told people my last name is Singh. So yeah, so I think that it's okay to just say Katie Magbanua or Katie Magbanua, because, I think that rolls off people's tongues more naturally. So that's what her own lawyer called her. So, okay. Hi, Laser Wolf. Jury duty random selection goes off voter registry. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, voter registry, but yeah, that's right. Okay, so sorry, it's not something that I usually think about too much, like how do people get chosen for jury duty? Yeah. Oh, sure. Thanks for your generous info sharing. Great discourse. Yeah, thank you. I thought Katie just had a certificate for healthcare billing. That's not a college degree. but kind of like a paralegal. Oh, no. I mean, from what I've read, she went to a community college, and then she ended up getting a real bachelor's degree from, was it University of Central Florida, I think? Yeah, in healthcare administration, something to that effect. So that's why it's even more sad that she just basically squandered her life away by getting involved with people like Sigfredo and Charlie and them wanting to orchestrate a murder to make a little bit of money. Yeah. Okay. Mentor lawyer is the best. I'm impressed people hold full-time jobs, have a channel and somewhere. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Yeah. I mean, I can only do this because I'm self-employed, so I can just squeeze it in whenever I have time and have a flexible schedule sometimes. Yeah, sure. Thank you. Okay. Spreading attention happens when Floridians wear a Justice for Dan t-shirt to all public events. Yeah. Yeah, that would be nice also. Yeah, but it's great to now have the internet as well as YouTube as a way to spread news to everybody. Opinion. Judy, go ahead and set up memberships for YouTube. The lowest amount is 99 cents. That's less than $1 a month. You can do one live, members only a month, but set it up. Oh, okay. Then I guess I need to look into that then. Yeah, but thank you very much. Yeah. But watching ads is totally free. So that's another way people can support the channel, is just, run one of those short 30-second ads. Maybe I can make a penny, right? So thank you. Okay, yeah, thanks, Trish. During the Arthur hearing, there's a time when both Rashbaum and Myers oh no, this is over before it even starts. Oh, okay. Yeah, I did notice when Katherine Myers was doing something really weird with Post-it notes, and somebody said, "What is she doing? She looks like she's scratching off lottery tickets." I've seen that hand motion before, and other people said it looked like she was doing origami. Yeah, so who knows? Maybe it was like a nervous tic or something, or she had to do something with those Post-it notes. Yeah. Do you think there's a case against Wendi? Well, I mean, she has been named as a co-conspirator already, which makes me think that the state does have other evidence that we don't know about. Yeah, because, I feel like I'm kind of a broken record, so I don't really want to go all into it all over again. But there are a lot of suspicious things that I believe she did around the time that Dan was murdered, as well as the day that he was shot. But there are things that she could just claim, for example, why did you have to drive near your old house right after Dan was shot? Well, she was saying that, what was it? She felt nostalgic. So sometimes she would just drive by her old neighborhood. I mean, it just sounds really, really unbelievable. Buying bullet bourbon, she's claiming that she needed to buy bourbon for some friend's party later that night. So she just happened to buy that bullet bourbon. And, knowing Dan's schedule, I mean, that is pretty suspicious also, that supposedly the hitmen knew that they needed to get the job done by Friday because Dan was going to be going out of state or going on a flight on Saturday. So if that's true, then it's like, well, who would have known Dan's schedule? Well, of course, you would say Wendi. But on the other hand, Wendi was also very, very close with her mom. So maybe she just happened to mention to her mom that, Dan is flying out of town, or Dan's going to be gone this weekend to New York. So I mean, it is kind of tough, because just based on what we as the public know, it doesn't look like there are any incriminating wiretaps, but it did seem like maybe the state had more texts and more evidence that has not been revealed yet. Yeah. So, but that's for a whole nother live stream show or a whole nother video. Yeah. And I recommend that you watch Deep Dive True Crime Mentor Lawyers 20 plus reasons why I think Wendi was involved. So, yeah. And he also said that maybe he'll make another video that's titled something different, like 40 plus reasons why Wendi Adelson was involved. Okay. I'm re-premiering the bail hearing at 7:30 with fixed audio, all stereo, and coming soon, a surprise from the case. Okay, well, that's exciting. Wow. Okay, well, sometime tonight I also have to do real work for my clients too. There's just so much going on with this case right now. Yeah, why did Wendi take back the invite to the bar mitzvah? Well, that's a good question. I don't know why. Because it just seems really mean-spirited after all these years where Dan's parents couldn't even come and see the kids, and then they get their hopes up and they finally got to go out for ice cream, one day, less than a day of time. And then they got back on the plane to go to Canada, probably all happy that they're going to come back for the child's bar mitzvah later on. But yeah, I have no idea other than just being mean. Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, because so Charlie got arrested. I mean, does that mean then the grandparents, Dan's parents, shouldn't be able to show up to the bar mitzvah because Charlie got arrested? I mean, I don't know. I mean, who knows what's going on in some people's heads. Yeah, I'm sure you all watched it already, but I wanted to fix the sound issue. Okay. Yeah, that's no problem. It seems like people just love, including myself. I like watching and rewatching. There's parts of the trials that I want to rewatch. There's like police interviews I want to rewatch, because there's just like so many details, so many intricacies in this case. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, definitely. Thanks to Mentor Lawyer. I know he's off the chat already. Okay. Chandler Halderson. What a riveting case. Okay, yeah, so that's another case I'll have to one day look into. Oh, okay, you like the interview with Epstein? Okay, well, that's great. Thank you so much for enjoying it. Yeah, I think it's probably gotten about 8,000 views already. Yeah, Charlie could take a deal to save his mom and sister, take full responsibility. I don't know, but would it save his mom and sister? Yeah, I have no idea. I don't really see him making a deal because he's probably so full of himself, he'd rather take a chance. Yeah, okay, we're excited for the surprise on Deep Dive True Crime. Harvey gone from age 70 to 78 so far. Yeah. Okay, so we'll definitely watch it. Brian was very nice in person. Oh, okay, he's talking about Brian Winchester, the guy that shot his so-called best friend in the head after taking him out on a duck hunting trip. Yeah. Oh, okay. Very nice in person. Interesting. Sounds like the Haddish case is a couple of young underage actors being asked to do some risque things. Now those kids have to come back as adults to say, okay. Yeah, I thought they were really young. Like, wasn't there a boy that was only about 7 who was involved in this like silly parody comedy sketch that they were trying to do about, people who are bad to children, Yeah, but that's definitely something that unfortunately I'm just kind of afraid could be not YouTube worthy. So due to YouTube censorship and their standards and stuff. Yeah. Brian showed guilt, shame, and remorse and regret. Denise did not. Felt bad for Brian being manipulated by her, but his act was reprehensible. Yeah, both of them were just totally awful people. They didn't want to just get divorced, but they wanted to kill off Mike Williams, and then Denise got a ton of life insurance money and got to have the child. I agree, Angela, but then I'm pretty sure he was going to kill Denise. Yeah, that's right. Jury duty. Oh, good. Eligibility varies by state and court. Yes, federal or state. Apparently, the invite to the bar mitzvah was canceled after the Markel. No, I mean, I think that was in 2016. Yeah, I think it was later in 2016 that supposedly, Wendi found out about the Markels contacting the Jewish social services organization in Florida, and they were not trying to put the kids in foster care, but rather they just wanted to know like what kind of services were there just in case, the Adelsons all got arrested. So because of that inquiry, then allegedly the visitation was then cut off. Yeah, so the invite to the bar mitzvah was canceled just around, I think, April 21st when Charlie got arrested. Yeah, I think so. That's what I recall. Yeah. Oh, okay. So Katie graduated from UC or UCF. Yeah, University of Central Florida. That's what I thought. Okay. he definitely was prepared, but I wonder if he would have gone through with it. Okay, you're talking about Brian Winchester killing off Denise Williams after they had years prior killed off Mike Williams so they could be together. Yeah, it's just really sad to hear about all these crimes and stuff. But anyway, as you can tell, my voice has totally given out. I need to get some more hot drinks to drink. And I really appreciate you guys all being out there caring about justice for Dan Markel in this case. And eventually I will do a live stream about some other cases. We'll have to see when Tony can come back and help me out with that, since she's the true crime buff who reads up on everything and watches all the trials from beginning to end multiple times. So I think I'll end it now, and then hopefully within the next few days, then we can continue reading through these other memoranda of law regarding the relocation motion, because we're still not done yet, in addition to the judge's order. So thank you guys for being here. And if I'm well enough, then maybe I'll do another live stream tomorrow regarding the timeline of the week of Dan Markel's murder, because I've noticed a lot of commenters are going around back and forth wondering, what really happened. Was Wendi on the street the day before Dan's murder? Was Luis Rivera telling the truth and stuff? So I finally found a portion of a brief that I had mentioned many weeks ago during another live stream, which has a lot of really interesting information. So I'd like to switch over and read that tomorrow if my voice holds up. So yeah. Okay, Sarah Boone trial. Oh, okay, November 7th. Yes, I'm definitely following that. Yeah, Sarah Boone, so crazy. The lady who zipped up her boyfriend George, or Jorge Torres, in a suitcase and killed him that way. Yeah, just so many crazy stories to talk about. Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, thank you all for your support, and have a good evening. And hopefully I'll see you guys, if not tomorrow night, then definitely Wednesday night, when we read over some more documents in the Markel Adelson case, or just in the Charlie Adelson case. We'll see how we end up tomorrow. Thank you.